Hey guys, Bella here, and you would think after making about 1,500 videos I would not be nervous, but I'm always nervous when I turn the camera on. But in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about my experience with the Amazon Influencer Program, specifically the lessons that I've learned in March of 2025. Now, I started in August of 2024, and I feel like I've made some great progress. I will be revealing my numbers for March, and I'll also reveal my lifetime earnings at the end of the video, so stick around for that. But specifically what I want to talk about is how much I made on-site, off-site with creator connections and some different things like working with brands to monetize content that way, and also working with a YouTube channel that is specifically for review videos to convert traffic to send them to Amazon. So my current video count is 634 videos. My goal is to get to 1,000 videos by the end of 2025, and I'm on pace to do that. As long as I make about 50 videos a month, I should be able to do that. Some videos are very easy to make, but some videos are more in depth, especially like putting something together, tutorials and things of that nature, or things that take time. Like for instance, I review a lot of seeds and gardening products, and you literally have to wait on that process to happen in order to do that video. So my goal is to always have a couple videos that I'm in progress doing. One thing I've noticed with some of the people who post on Amazon is they just hold up the product. They don't really do a review. They're just meeting the minimum requirements, and I just feel like I don't want my content to be like that, and so I try to make good videos because I feel like that is what will ultimately win out in the competition for being on the carousel. I've definitely noticed this more now that I've been doing it. I'll see people on TikTok Shop and they're like, they've just gotten it out of the box and they're reviewing it, and I'm like, yeah, how can you review it when you just got it out of the box? You know what I mean? So I've definitely become more aware of how many reviews online are fake, and I've always known that, but I guess it's just a little bit more, you can see the signs now, especially since I take time to put things together, to see how they work, to see how it makes me feel if I'm taking a supplement or something like that. So it's been very interesting to see the work behind the scenes of what goes on for all of those product review videos that we watch. So my earnings for March, for on-site, that is videos that basically showed up on the Amazon listing page in the carousel. If someone watches my video and then buys the product, I received a commission. So my earnings for that rounded are $276. And then for off-site, that is traffic that I brought in from external links like from YouTube. That was $6, better than last month. Last month I think was around $2 or $3. And then my creator connections revenue was $206. So total I earned $488 in the month of March with the Amazon Influencer Program. And of course I also got a ton of free products, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more in the video later, just talking about the monetary value of those and how those also can help me with my, spending and basically saving money on things that we don't have to buy. So for creator connections, I'm currently in 122 campaigns right now, which sounds like a lot, but honestly, after doing it for 6 months, a lot of the campaigns are repeated. So you've seen these products, you've done the video 4 months ago, and you just re-accept the campaign. In terms of campaigns that I've been in that have ended, I've had 206 campaigns that I've successfully completed. So individual campaigns can make me different amounts of money, and especially depends on how long the campaign runs. Some of these campaigns only run for like 2 weeks, some of them run for a year. So I try to focus on campaigns that run for a long time and campaigns that pay out well. So there's a fine balance between a campaign that's paying out 50% but only is going for a month versus a campaign that pays out 10% but it's going for the next 12 months. So you just have to value your time. Some recent examples of the amount that I made per campaign: $35, $28, $19, and $15. So that means I accepted the campaign, made the video, and then it basically got additional commission from being in those campaigns. Now, some of these campaigns, like I said, are repeatable. So once you make the video, as long as you keep up with them, you can continue to accept the campaign and continue to make that money. So that's why you see that I have so many campaigns currently accepted. It's a result of that work that I did in the last 6 months. Now, if I see that one particular brand, the campaign is doing well, it makes sense that I will continue to try to work with that brand. I work with right now like a swimsuit clothing company, and pretty much all of their campaigns that I do make some amount of money. I'm fine to continue working with that brand on a gifted collab basis. If you're not familiar with gifted versus paid collabs, basically you can ask for money to do these reviews. Now, if I'm asking for the product myself, like if I'm in creator connections, I do not ask for money for the review. However, they are not allowed to post that content to their social media and things like that. I don't give over exclusive rights to my videos unless they are paid for. I've had a lot of brands that think that they're going to get access to my videos and they're kind of sneaky with it, and so you just have to be careful, because anytime that you're giving them something to use as a marketing tool, you should be compensated for that, and if not, then you're working for free, which is not a good business model. However, there is value in getting free products. For instance, we have enough laundry detergent, shampoo, and things like that to last for years now because of how many campaigns I've been involved in. So we actually looked at my spreadsheet the other day, and I told my partner, I was like, I want to find out how much money in free products I've actually received since I started, because we get so many packages. Actually, the mail person actually was like, kind of like weirded out a little bit, and I told them that I'm a product reviewer, and they were like, does that pay well? And I was like, well, it pays you in stuff. It doesn't pay that much in money, but it pays you really well in stuff. And so the amount that we determined that I've actually received, now this is based on the product price on Amazon, so that's what I always put on the spreadsheet. So if it's $19.99, I'll put that, so not including tax or anything like that. But so far we estimated that I've earned over $16,000 worth of free products since I started the Amazon Influencer Program. And this is going to sound kind of greedy, but I could get a lot more than that. I just don't have time to make all the videos, or rather I'm just not prioritizing making all of those videos. Whenever I'm scrolling through Creator Connections, I'm actually looking for things that I want to make videos on, because for the past 10 years I've ran a very formulaic business where I bought things and resold them, which is kind of fun at times, but it has not allowed me to have that like creative input that I want to have. And so now that I've transitioned to this, I've just seen a different side of my business personality come out. It's been really fun to kind of experiment, to get different types of camera angles and camera shots. And so I feel like I'm just going to lean into my interests when it comes to doing these reviews. But having $16,000 worth of free stuff come to your house is pretty fun. I feel like that's another benefit of being in this program. So one of the products that I recently got is this. So it clamps onto the table, and then I can do any kind of shot that I want. But the main reason I got it is because I was wanting to do some overhead shots, because sometimes when I'm doing a tutorial, I need to put something together and show my hands putting it together. And so it's not necessarily easy to get that point of view. I bought one of those things that goes around your neck that you put your phone on. Do not buy that. Like, it is so bad. I couldn't see what I was doing. And I'm like, logically, I should have probably known that, but I didn't. But hey, we live and we learn. But I would recommend getting one like that clamps on, because it's so much more sturdy. And this thing is like hard to move. Like, it's actually really, really sturdy. And you can also use it like outside. You can snap this to any kind of table surface. Basically, it just clamps on. So I've been trying to kind of see like what investments can I make in equipment that can potentially make me a better videographer and make the videos stand out compared to the competition. People who always do their videos in like the same room, like say if I'm doing them all in this background, I think it gets a little boring and repetitive. I prefer to be doing my videos more like out in the wild. So like if I'm doing a gardening video, we might do a time lapse of putting something together. We recently did that, and it turned out really well. And I think that it was a unique perspective that the brand probably needed, because a lot of the reviews in that listing said that the brand did not provide very good instructions. So being able to see us put it together in real time probably will help the customer figure out how to do it. Also, I told the customer, you need a drill and a hammer or a mallet to do this. And so just giving them that information to make an informed purchasing decision, I feel like is valuable. I like to have those unique shots, and I also like to have a unique setting. So I film a lot of my videos outside, especially if it's for something like dog treats, because my dogs will go and lay in the grass, and I just think the green background looks really good. It looks more authentic. It looks less like an advertisement and more just like someone who's hanging out in their backyard. So anytime that you can have a more realistic backdrop, I think is good. Some people just film with like these like LED lights in the background and it's all black, and it's just like, I don't know, it just kind of looks like every other YouTuber, and I just feel like I just want to stand out in that way. So I do like to do outdoor videos or like really good lighting whenever possible. Now, don't get me wrong, I will be lazy sometimes and I'll just sit here and film like video after video, especially if I need to get some things done. But the videos that I feel like have been performing well for me lately are a lot of lawn and garden type of things. Like I've got these fake owls, and like I reviewed them at my mom's house, and I kind of like had a goofy thumbnail, and they've been selling pretty much every single day. And so I have noticed that, you know, a lot of the revenue that I get does come from the same products over and over again, because I believe my video has ranked in the carousel. Unfortunately, Amazon doesn't give us any information about how that works, but if I had to extrapolate based on everything else that I know about Amazon, I would say that probably anytime someone posts a new video, it goes up for a test and they see how well it converts, and if it doesn't convert well, they just push it back. And there's only usually 3 pages of videos, so I think there's like maybe 15 or 12 videos that are available to the customer at any given time. And so if your video doesn't make it, you basically made the video for no reason. So I'm going to talk about that in a moment, because there's something that you can do that will actually maybe help or change that situation. Okay, so old videos, that's relative, but videos I made 6 months ago, sometimes the listing page gets taken down or changed, and so that video is no longer relevant. What it will say is like product unavailable. And so at that point, my best advice is to delete the video and then re-upload to a different listing that corresponds with the product. I did this the other day and noticed that the video that was dead actually got immediately on the carousel and started making sales. One problem with this is that it's kind of time consuming because you have to click through all of your videos, and so I don't feel like that is the best way of doing it. I'm not sure how I need to manage some of these things. I've really been feeling like I need to get maybe a virtual assistant or a program or something. So if any of you guys know anything about like how to best optimize for all of your different videos, the one thing I have issue with is sometimes on Creator Connections there will be a campaign for a product that I have reviewed, but I don't get recommended it, so I don't ever accept the campaign and I don't get those additional commissions. So I would love to know if there's something that you're using that could potentially help me with that and could help me with, you know, finding the best listing to put my video on. In my mind, I try to not go to overcrowded listings. So if there's already a ton of what looks like good videos on a listing, I'll go to a different listing. Sometimes what that means is that it might be a multi-quantity listing. So if it's like, for example, a cleaning spray and then it's a 1-pack and then there's another listing somebody's selling like a 12-pack or a 6-pack, I'll go on that other listing. Even though it might not sell as often, it's going to sell for more money, and it's also got less competition on the carousel. Someone recently asked me, how do you get your videos on the carousel? You have no control over that. So once you post your video to your Amazon storefront, that's all you can do from there. So it will go on the carousel most likely as a test, and if the video doesn't convert well, it will probably not go back on the carousel. That's really all that I can tell you because I don't know any of the behind the scenes information, and they don't give us very much in terms of statistics. We do have some conversion rates, but that's really all we have to work with in terms of knowing the numbers. Okay, so with those inactive videos or when the product is no longer available, that is one thing you can do is delete and re-upload. I typically just delete and re-upload immediately. I don't know, you know, the logistics or the terms of service or whatever. I really don't know. I just know that the video is useless to me if there's no listing page for it and no product, and so that seems like the only thing that I can do. In terms of violations, well, they're not really violations, they just basically don't let your video become published. It'll be like, it says needs attention. So if you put something in your video that they don't want in it, they will not publish it. You're not allowed to show barcodes. And oh my gosh, I do this all the time. It's because I'm not paying attention when I'm filming, and often there's an angle or just some small shot where the barcode pops in. So typically what I can do is go back and add a blur, or I can go back and just cut out that part of the video, just depending on what it is. But I did have one issue where I had a shipping label on a box. We were putting something together, and so I can't refilm that. Like, I'm not taking it apart and putting it back together. So I basically just had to zoom in really close on what I was filming. I could have also probably put a blur on it. That turns into a huge headache, so it's better to pay attention ahead of time if you can. You're also not allowed to say the term eco-friendly, which apparently came out of my mouth at some point. So I got a video that was rejected for that. And then I had one where I accidentally showed my car tag. So that was considered like revealing personal information. So if you had like your address or something on there or a piece of mail, they'll definitely flag that. So just be careful when filming. As far as I know, there's no consequence for this. It's just annoying. So it's more or less just something you need to pay attention to. And they do have a list of things that, you know, you're not allowed to do. So just go and familiarize yourself with that, but don't stress over it. I will talk briefly about my YouTube channel, Hellabella Reviews. The purpose for this channel is to, of course, eventually get it monetized so that I can tag products. I leave a link to the Amazon product, and that's a referral link, so that also drives traffic to Amazon, and I make additional commissions from that. Another benefit of having that YouTube channel is other brands can see those videos and they can see that they could potentially contact me there. I have my email there, I have my information, and so if someone wants to work with me on a paid basis, they can find me there and they can contact me. I'm almost halfway to getting enough subscribers to get monetized. There's some other metrics I have to meet, like views, but right now I have 229 subscribers and I've uploaded 212 videos, so I've definitely been working on it pretty steadily. I try to upload at least once a day. My most viewed video so far is like 8,000 views, which I thought the videos would get like no views, and some of them do. Some of them get like 5 views, but some of them have actually been getting views, which tells me that the video does have value, because typically on YouTube, they're not just gonna show something that has no value. So that is helpful for me to kind of get feedback in terms of just knowing that I'm making decent quality content and that there's a market gap because somebody else hasn't made content better, so that it's the only content available on that particular subject matter. So if you're the only one, you can suck, you can have a bad video, but if you're the only one, that's usually what is going to pop up in the search results. I do want to make a more comprehensive video about working with brands for paid collaborations because there's a lot to it. I've learned a lot on my own. There's not a ton of information about this, and it is kind of like a you run it like you want to run it. And so I'm kind of the mindset of like, I know my worth. I'm not doing a video for $20. Like, I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. And so, I have come up with a rate that is comfortable for me, and I do not go below the rate. I'm pretty straightforward in my emails of what I provide and things like that, but you kind of have to decide what you're willing to work for. In terms of brands that reach out to me by email, I typically will give them the quote and I will ask them what they plan to do with the video, because the price changes based on, are you going to use that for commercial content? Do you want to put that on your listing page? Because that means you own it forever. Basically, I will offer them the right to buy the video for a lifetime of usage. And so those are different things that we can talk about in another video more in depth. If you have questions, it would be helpful for me to have those questions if you comment below. That way I can anticipate what I need to answer. I've had a lot of fun with this business, and just the other day we got like a raised garden bed that we put together. It was something I had wanted to buy, and I'm like, let's just see if we can get it on Creator Connections. And I went back and forth with the brand, a couple of messages, and they eventually were like, yeah, we'll send it to you. So sometimes you kind of have to be, I'm not going to say pushy, but you kind of have to say what value you're going to provide them. I always kind of structure it as a, what can I do for you? I don't talk about myself, because that's not what anyone wants to hear when you're pitching them. Make sure that they understand that you're trying to help them get sales, because that's ultimately their goal, is for them to get sales and for them to rank well in the listing pages, and that their listing doesn't get pushed down to the bottom. Okay, so for the reveal of the total amount of money I've made with Amazon Influencer Program since August of 2024, I've made roughly $2,858, and I've gotten all of those free products, and I've had a lot of fun, and I've saved money on groceries, I've saved money on clothes, swimsuits, everything, supplements, so many things that I've gotten that I never would have thought, wow, I can get that for free now. It's basically like a little free store that I can go to every single day. And I cannot tell you how much dopamine I get from just scrolling on Creator Connections, but I have to reel it in sometimes, because just right now I have 16 videos that I need to film, and so I'm gonna get off of here and do that. I wanted y'all to know what is going on with me in the Amazon Influencer Program, and this is the first quarter of 2025, so I feel like things will steadily improve, of course, as I get more videos, and I'm really excited to see how Q4 goes. But so far, I think that with everything that I've learned, I'm just only going to continue to get better and learn more, and I will just keep going, and I'll let y'all know what I learn along the way. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see updates, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care until then.